Hi folks, welcome to another episode in this Transport Fever 2 video series. And welcome back to MurphWorks, where if I knew any better, I would quit while I was still ahead. But then again, I don't know any better, and I'm probably not ahead yet anyway. In the last episode, we added wagons to our existing cargo trains to squeeze as much out of them as practical. In this episode, we're going to use every penny we can borrow to start transporting and processing oil to get fuel. That's right, I said oil, otherwise known as black gold or Texas tea. Let's get started. Smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Or just give it a thumbs up for yourself, so that you'll always be able to come back and watch it again if you need to. Today I'm going to start with the game on pause, and I want to go to my bank account, so let's just click on that. And one thing I haven't done yet is kind of check out my headquarters. So let's click on headquarters, and oh my goodness, I have a company score of 1. 1 is a lonely number, in addition to being an absolute abysmally low number. You know, I have absolutely no idea what this company score means, but I have this unearthly feeling that I don't like a score of 1. So let's see what we can do today to get that company score up. But before we do that, let's just actually go to our headquarters and see what they look like. So I'll click on the pin, and it takes me over to my headquarters. And there it is! Oh my goodness, look at that ramshackle little shack! It is absolutely dilapidated. What an ugly little homestead. So let's see what we can do today and maybe we can improve things. Let's go to our bank account and go back to finances. And how much money can we borrow? Well, we have a loan now of 10 million. And if I go over to borrow, we can borrow a total of 30 million, which means today I can borrow $20 million. Now you may ask, well, why borrow all $20 million? And the answer is, I can, therefore I'm going to do it. So let's borrow that $20 million. Okay, we're now at a loan of $30 million. We can't borrow any more at all. But look, I'm rich. I've got over $20 million in my bank account. I'm up to my eyeballs in a loan, but I got lots of money. Let's see if we can put that money to good use. Now, I won't bore you with me searching all over the map looking for opportunities. Offline, I've already done some searching, and I think I got a great opportunity around the town of Concord. So let's find that town of Concord. And there it is there. And we'll zoom out a little bit. Now you can see at Concord, I've got the Concord oil well. I have the Concord fuel refinery. And if I take a look all the way down there somewhere, way down in Olathe, there is a Olathe oil refinery. So I'm going to connect the Concord oil well to the Concord fuel refinery and to the city, and all the way down to the Olathe refinery, which is way down there somewhere. So let's get started. So let's start at the Concord fuel refinery. And I'm going to build a little road, and there's my target down there, the Concord oil well. I'm going to go to roads, and just a country road, maybe a medium-sized one. I don't want a tram track. And I'm just going to build a little road, right about like that. Now let's plop in our train station. We'll go to rail, buildings, cargo. I'm going to go with 2 tracks and 160 meters long. Let's zoom in a little bit, and we'll just spin them around. Something like that. I'm going to get a little closer. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. He's not connecting with this. Oh, that's not working out well at all. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta do something here. Maybe I need to put a road in there. Let's try that. Let's put a road in here that's connecting nicely to the fuel refinery. Okay, now let's try putting that train station in and see what happens. So I click on rail. There's my cargo station, two tracks and 160 meters. And oh look, it's lit up nice and white this time. And just let's crank that just a little bit. We'll plop that in for the low price of $327,000 and change. So then we close that up, and maybe I'll go down to the oil well and then turn myself around the other way. And there's my target. So as per usual, that little quirk of mine, I'm going to build a little road here just to help me out. And you don't have to do that. It's just something that I do just to kind of keep me orientated. But let's just put a little road in here. And then another one on an angle. Oops, maybe that. All right. Now this time, I want a cargo terminus station, and I only want one track, and I want it 320 meters long. Now you might ask, why 320 meters long? Well, the answer to that is, as soon as this oil well starts producing, it's going to go like a madman. And I want the longest cargo terminus station that I can get. That looks like it's connected nicely, so we'll plop that down and then go over to tracks. So now we'll start building some track between these two stations. Maybe not too long of lengths. Oh look, what did I just do? Oh, for goodness sake. One of these days, I'm going to get good at putting track down, and then I'm going to be scary. But in the meantime, well, we just got to make do. Okay. And we're going there. That's our target. So we'll kind of go right through, oops, right through there. I want to connect to that road, and then I want to connect to this guy here. I'm going to go in like that. I don't like that at all. Look at that big wow in there. Okay, I think we can do better. Let's blow some of this stuff up and try to do something a little bit more respectable. Don't want to blow that up. Okay, let's try to cut through here just a little bit better. Maybe I can't because I put that station so close to the city. That might actually be my problem. Well, we'll start at this end and we'll put some track through. Oh, yeah, I don't want you to connect to that. Or does it matter if I connect to that road? Do I really care? I don't think I do. That's fine. Let's put them right through like that. That actually connected, did. Okay. That's a little bit wobbly, but it'll work. Now, I want to go down to the Olathe Refinery, which is somewhere down here, and build a station. Okay, here we are at the Olathe Oil Refinery. So once again, I'm going to build a little road here, connection. You don't have to do that. It's just this quirky little thing that I have that I do. And we're aiming down there. So we're probably going to go just this side of the town of Olathe. So the first thing I'm going to do, as I said, is put down a little bit of a road. This is the smallest thing you can imagine. If I can. That didn't do it. How about something like that? And then I just angle it out. That. Okay. So we'll close that up. We'll go to rail, buildings. It's a cargo terminus station. I want one track, and I think this time 160 meters ought to be enough. We'll spin that around and kind of point them just north of the town of Olathe, because I think that's really where we want to go. I'll just move him a little bit that way. think that's good right there. Make sure he's in nice and good. And plop him down. Then we'll go to tracks and start building some track. Keep it as nice and smooth as we can so our trains have a nice ride here. Not going around any sharp corners. I go through here. And where's my target again? Right there. Okay. We'll go on this side of this mound. I want to avoid that if possible. Go around it. And we'll move up. We'll go this side of those coal stations. So there's that coal. I'm not sure what it is, but we're going to go on this side of them. Maybe something like that. Alright, nice and smooth. And we'll start looping back up here because that's my station right there I'm going to be aiming at. So again, just up like that. Okay, now I got to come in, I got to connect to this guy. So let's connect there. And there. And did I connect in the right spot? I think I did, yeah. Now while I'm here, I am going to build a second track, or the beginnings of a second track at the station. I don't really need it at the moment, but when I have multiple trains, I will need it, or I do want it, and eventually I'll have a double track going through here. And actually, because I'm close to the city, I'm going to build that double track right through here. Because I don't want that city to build up around that and take this track right of way away from me. Alright, then we'll come in here and make that connection. And put up a signal. It will be one way going that way. And we'll go down to the other end. And we'll put in a signal just like that. Alright. So what else do we need for our train line? Well, we need a rail depot. So we'll go to rail, oops, rail, buildings, there's a depot. Okay, where do I want to put this rail depot? I don't want them too close to this oil refinery, this oil well, because eventually as time goes on, those trains are going to get pretty long. So I know it's going to be within the city, but I'm kind of thinking down this way somewhere. So let's plop him maybe right about here. I might regret this, but well, maybe this side, eh? No, I don't want him that close. Let's put him right here. And right now, I just want him to head towards the oil well. So I really only need one track for the moment. And we'll put in a signal, but no, I do not want a one-way. And we'll plop that down. Now, in terms of infrastructure, I still need a truck station over here and a road depot and a truck stop in Concord. So let's that. So I go to buildings and there is a road depot, which I think I'll put right about there in that little nook. It's either a nook or a cranny. Anyway, right about there. And then I'll go to a truck station. You don't want tram track, just one side. Make it 30 meters. And maybe like that. Well, actually, in the future, I might want this to be longer. So let's just turn him a little bit. I mean, I might have to blow out that road in the future, but at least if I put him on an angle like this, I can make him longer in the future. And if I put him here, the fuel refinery lights up, so we're doing well. It should pick up from the fuel refinery okay. That's what we want. Or instead of putting it there, what am I doing? Maybe I just need to put it here. I don't need to do anything wonky. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know what I was thinking. Let's just move you over. Put you Something like that. Okay. And I need a truck stop in Concord. So let's go back to roads. There's my truck stop. The fuel users or consumers are up in this area up here, so I'm going to put the truck stop right there. Okay, we'll close that up. I think the next thing to do is to set up the lines. So the easy thing to do is to set up the truck line. So I'll just go new line and new line. Oh, I've got line 1 in purple, which isn't used, so let's use that one. I don't want unused lines. And we'll add a station. So I'll click on that, Concord transfer, and there. Now, in terms of loading parameters, what do I want this truck to do? So I want him to go load, but I only want him to load fuel. I don't want him getting confused up here with the... Well, I don't think he will get confused, but I don't want him loading refined oil. I want him loading fuel. So we'll load fuel and we'll unload nothing. And the maximum waiting time we'll make unlimited. And then over here, we'll buy some vehicles. The steam tarpaulin truck, it's a cargo type. It carries all the cargo, so I don't have to worry about what it carries and what it doesn't carry. I'm just going to buy 4 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll buy those. And to make sure they last an inordinate long period of time, I'll bump up the maintenance to high, so plus 25% in cost. We'll apply that. Then we'll put them to, what did I call it? Oh, I called it line 1. So we'll put them on line 1, and of course I should rename that. So let's go to the line 1 and give it a line that actually, give it a name that actually makes sense. I call it the Concord Fuel Trucks. That makes sense to me, and it's got a name that'll mean something as opposed to line 1. All right, now we need to set up our train line. So again, we go to new lines, and is line 2 used? It isn't. Let's just delete that. I hate unused lines. There's line 1, which is unused. So click on the station. Oops, do that again. One of these days I'll get it right. So we'll start at the oil well. Then we'll go all the way down to Olathe. Olathe is down here. And then we're going to go back, this time, to that station there. Now, I think there's something else I want to do before I finalize this line, and that is put in some sidings. So let's go down here and put in a couple of sidings, because I think I want to buy 2 trains to start out with, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. But for now, let's work on those sidings. And I haven't bought the trains yet, so I don't really know how long the trains are going to be, but we'll make this siding good and long. So there's one there. And we'll just connect this other end here, like we know what we're doing. And yes, I do want a one-way at that end. And one all the way down here at that end. That was quite a long siding. And then maybe there's a long stretch here. I'll put in another one. I don't want to go with a double track just yet because money is, I won't say it's too tight to mention, but I want to save my money for buying trains, not building all kinds of track. At least that's my thought process anyway. See how that works out. Connect that. And a signal there. And a signal there. And do I need another one somewhere? Probably right before this terminus. I'll put it in through here because I want to put double track through here so that city doesn't grow up and infiltrate my train right away. Put you there. And like that. We'll connect them up. And the same thing at the other end. And of course, don't forget the signals. One at that end. And one down here. Okay, now I think I have the track set up the way I want it. Now let's just go back to the line to make sure, oh, line 1. I don't like that at all. I keep forgetting to give them a decent name. So let's change that to the Concorde fuel train. That makes sense to me and is pretty straightforward. So what do I want the Concorde fuel train to do? Well, let's click on that. And in terms of loading parameters, I think when we start, I will have him full load any. Let's go full load any. And we're going to load. We just want crude oil. There's crude oil right there. You're going to unload nothing. Then we make at the other end at Olath. He's going to load if available. We want him to load. I guess that's refined oil now. That's crude oil. There's refined oil right there. We want him to load refined oil and unload crude oil. And then at Concorde, I want him to load nothing and unload fuel. And in terms of the maximum wait time down here, especially, I'm going to make it unlimited. There we go. So now we have our train line set up. Now let's go down here. Did I set up the truck line? I did. Okay, the truck line's set up. And did I buy the trucks? I think I did. Yeah, they got a little truck sitting there, ready to go. All right, let's buy some trains. Now, let's just take a look here. Did that connect properly? I wonder if that's going to screw things up right there. Yikes. It looks okay. But if can I bulldoze just a little tiny bit? No. I don't want to do that. Okay, let's just leave it for the moment. I'm hoping that works out. Okay, let's buy some trains. Alright, so let's click on the rail depot. Sorry, the train depot. And buy vehicles. So in terms of cargo wagons, the speediest tank car I have has a top speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Let's see if we can find a steam locomotive, because I don't think I have anything else at the moment. Yeah, let's find a steam locomotive with a fairly close matching speed. The 260 Mogul has a top speed of 75 kilometers per hour. The 10-wheeler 100. It looks like the closest match is the 260 Mogul. We'll buy one of those and then go back to cargo, tank car, and right now I got a power rating of 400 kilowatts, which is considered mediocre. Well, I want to buy as many as I can without that dropping to poor. Let's try that. Eerie or process. Eerie, I guess is a better word. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh no, 12 turns it into poor. Alright, take the last one off. And that's going to cost me a total of $7.6 million. So I can afford to buy two, so I'm going to actually buy two. Now you might ask, why buy two right now? Like, why not buy one now and then buy one later so that the trains are split up and they're a far distance from each other or not holding each other up? Well, the reason is that I have a lot of money right now, and what I don't want to have happen is let the game play, the money goes down, and I can't afford that second train later. Well, for that reason, I'm going to buy two trains now. So let's buy those. And then we're going to up the maintenance on them to 25% just so they last an inordinately long time. And then we'll put them on the Concorde fuel train line. Alright, so now I'm going to hit play, and hopefully some trains come out of that rail depot. Yeah, there's a train coming out ever so slowly. And if I look down here, there should be some trucks coming out of the road depot. So far, so good. And if we look down here at the oil refinery, the cargo terminus is filling up fast. So it's now January of 1904. I need to let the game run for a little while. I need these trains to start picking up and unloading and getting things going, and those trucks delivering fuel to Concorde. Let's let the game run for a little while, and we'll come back and we'll see how we're doing. Well folks, it's now May of 1906, and I think I made a mistake setting up my line. I often make mistakes, but then I end up having to correct them, which hopefully it is correctable. I go to managing my line. I want to see what's happening at Concorde. What did I do? You have them unloading fuel. That's wrong. You should be unloading refined oil and... Sorry, you should be unloading refined oil and loading nothing. Right. Let me think about that just for a second. Right? He's coming from the oil refinery. He's going to unload the refined oil, then goes to the plant. All right. Let's make that change and hit play again and see what happens. We'll speed that up. And we'll come back and see if things are operating the way they should. Well, that was the correction I needed. Now, at Olathe, I got refined oil starting to load up. I wonder what was going on there. So I still think I'm going to let the game run for a little while now that I actually have the line set up properly to see how much money we're going to really make. So it's now March of 1907. Well, it's now March of 1908, and things are now working the way they should. The Concorde fuel refinery is starting to get the refined oil, and I now have a truck, the first truck, taken off with 6 units of fuel, headed for Concorde. If we take a look at the Concorde fuel train, this particular train's making $6.5 million. Overall, we're making $5 million, which means the other train must be losing money at the moment. That one, there's number 6. Yeah, at the moment it's losing money. But nonetheless, we're making a pile of money, $5 million. At the Concorde oil well, the trains are picking up the oil, the crude oil, just the way they should. At the other end, at the Olathe oil refinery, it's pumping out the refined oil, but right now it's just low on stores. So now it's August of 1908, and we're showing a negative number for earnings right now, but I'm pretty confident that that number is going to go up as these trains continue to make their deliveries. Now, one thing I want to circle back on is now that we spent we borrowed a pile of money, we borrowed $20 million. I now have $11.5 million in my bank account, and that's after buying a couple of trains and building all sorts of infrastructure. Let's go back to the headquarters and see if that made any effect at all on my headquarters score. So we'll click on the account and go to headquarters. Oh my goodness, look at that. I have a company score of 5, sports fans. 5. That's 5 times better than what it was before. It still sucks, but it's 5 times better than it was before. Anyway, that makes me feel better in some really strange way, but obviously I'm going to continue to strive to get that company score just a little higher. Because 5 still seems pretty lame to me. So we'll close that up. So I think today we accomplished a lot. We established a brand new supply chain of crude oil to refined oil to fuel, and having that fuel delivered in trucks to the town of Concorde. And of course, we accomplished all that by borrowing every penny we could and spending it on new trains and more infrastructure. So what comes next? Well, the answer to that lies in the next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. Click on that box in the bottom left-hand corner right now to see a video you're almost guaranteed to love. This video was selected just for you by YouTube, and they know what you like. So what are you waiting for? Click on that box now, sit back, relax, and enjoy another video.